Hi guys, it's Angelina. This is video number 6 of my 30-day video series from cocaine to carrots. And today we're going to start off with a meditation. So I've been resisting doing this video. This has been so far one of the hardest. I've done everything else today in my office to avoid doing this. And you may notice this comes up in your life where you do everything possible, but the thing that you kind of want to do, you know is important, but is challenging you. So in order to be clear and focused, one of the things that we can do is to take our thoughts out of our mind and bring our awareness to our heart. In order to do that, we can do a simple 1-minute meditation. So let's go ahead and do it together. I want you to close your eyes quietly, sit comfortably, and we're going to take 30 breaths in and out pretty fast. Okay, so I'll show you here. Go. We're going to count to 30 and do that together. Okay, so close your eyes. Okay, that's 30. So just sit there for a second. Let your body get all that fresh oxygen. You might notice that you feel differently. You might feel dizzy. Sometimes that's totally normal. So that is something you can do anytime to present you to your heart. Get you out of your head thinking about all of those worried things like I'm thinking or was thinking and am no longer. So today's story is one of the stories that still shocks me today. And I have to share that, going along this journey, it has been rewarding to share these stories with you guys, but it's also at times been a little bit confronting. Wow, that really happened. And the more that I share the stories, the more that I realize the triumph it's been to get past these kinds of situations. So let me take you back a while. So you guys remember the New Year's Eve story. Well, this is about a few months later. And so I was working at Culpepper's Bar and Grill, which is a hot wings place, which I'll share with you another story next video about that. But I had a friend there. She was this really cute blonde girl, and she was about 45. She was single, recently divorced, and had been dating a lot. And so we would kind of go out together. We would sit at the bar and have a couple drinks together. And one day she says, I have somewhere to go. You want to come with me? This guy that I really like, he wants us to come over, and he's got some stuff for us. And I'm thinking, what kind of stuff? I didn't know if it was pot, if it was cocaine, what it was. Well, we ended up going over, and it was in the middle of the suburbs, so it was a beautiful house. And we walked in, there's no furniture. Not a single piece of furniture. And I thought to myself, wow, what is wrong here? There's no furniture. So we met the gentleman who happened to be the fire chief at the time, which was a long time ago, so don't try to look him up or figure this out or anything. And he maybe wasn't. I still don't know for sure. But anyway, I asked why all the furniture was gone. He said, well, my wife recently left me and she took all the furniture. I said, okay, well, plausible reason, right? So we walk into the kitchen, and he opens up the oven, and as I look in the oven, I see all these little rocks everywhere. And all the little rocks are rocks of crack. Well, I'd never seen crack before. I had never smoked crack before. I had never thought of doing this before. But as he started taking it out, he was doing what's called basting. And he would put it in a spoon and light the bottom of the spoon. There would be smoke would come off of it. So I thought to myself, this can't be good. I've always watched movies where there's crack addicts, they never get off of crack, I shouldn't do this. And again, I had all those internal thoughts. My mind was saying to me, Angelina, this is not a good idea. Run as fast as you can. Get out of here. Are you crazy? Are you stupid? Why would you ever put yourself in this situation? But again, I had lost my voice, and I wanted to look good. I wanted to look cool. So I muscled through it, and I said, you know what? I'll go ahead and try it. So I light up the spoon, and as the smoke fills my nostrils, I could feel a surge of adrenaline, an automatic surge of adrenaline, and my heart started beating fast, and the room started looking different, and it was a complete out-of-body experience. So I did a couple more hits, and at that point, he had passed the spoon around to all three of us, and he says, "Why don't we go upstairs?" So I'm walking upstairs, and I walk into his bedroom. And I look over, there's a bed, there's a chair. Well, his wife didn't take those things, apparently. And he looks at me, and he takes out his wallet, and he puts $100 bills across the bed. Probably about $1,000, and at that time it was quite a lot of money, and I was working as a waitress and not having too much money. And he says, "I'll give you all of that if you sleep with her and let me watch." And I was startled. I'd never had a proposition like this before. And he said, "Well, what are you waiting for?" And I said, "Well, I don't know. I just don't feel comfortable. It's really not my thing." He said, "Well, does $1,000 make it your thing?" And I said, "I'm not really comfortable. She's my friend, and I'm backpedaling my way out of it." And finally, I thought about it, and I said, I had to pay my car payment. I had to pay my car payment this month. I don't have enough money. So what am I going to do? So that moment of fear caused me to do something that I normally wouldn't have done. So I gave him a proposition. I said, "Well, I'll undress her if you pay me $300. So he says, "Well, we'll see what happens." And so I remember standing there, and I'm feeling so nervous, out of my mind nervous. My heart is beating. I'm nowhere near myself. So I start to undress this woman, right? I'm undressing her and, dancing a little bit, and all of a sudden I felt terrible, so guilty and awful. And I took her into the bathroom, and I said, "We'll be right back." So I went in the bathroom, and I was like, I feel terrible, I feel awful, I don't feel well, I don't want to do this with you, I think you're a great person, I don't want to do this. So she says, "Well, let's just go outside and tell him that you don't feel well." So we walk outside, and we say, we don't feel well, we're going to leave. And he kind of looks, and he's starting to get a little bit angry, and I looked down at the bed, and I saw the $300, and I took it. I just put it in my hands and took it. And, I left, and I paid my car payment. Well, 2 days later, my mom asked me how I paid my car payment because she knew that I hadn't been working very much and I didn't have very many tips. And I remember this guilt racing over me, feeling completely awful, guilty, shameful, dirty, disgusting. And what I realize now, after looking back at all these stories, is it was one thing after another that kept making me feel worse and worse about myself. There's something we're going to talk a little bit later on in the videos about integrity, and integrity is honoring yourself, honoring your word. And every time I didn't honor myself and I didn't use my voice, I lost a little bit of part of myself, a bit of confidence, a bit of self-worth, a bit of love. And so I started gaining weight. I would eat a lot. I would have hamburgers and hot dogs and oatmeal cream pies and beer and lots of beer and more beer and macaroni and cheese. And so I started gaining weight. So next story I'm going to share with you some of the things that I did to try to lose weight, including one most embarrassing story of my life. And if you think this story was embarrassing, you haven't heard this one yet. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. This is Angelina Deweese signing off.